Bejan Mishra, Consumer Voice. Shailesh Gandhi, well-known RTI activist, former CIC. R.K. Mishra, citizen, president of the Navbharat Democratic Party. Aryaman Sundaram, senior advocate of the Supreme Court. Sanjeev Bagai, vice chairman and director of the Dwarka Manipal Hospital, who holds the view that the hospital is not responsible. Very strange, very disappointing position you take, Dr. Bagai. Sujya Narayan Patro, I will come to you later. You are a former revenue minister and spokesperson of the BJD, but I want to start with Professor Dr. Amit Banerjee, who is Vice Chancellor of the SUM Hospital and Medical College where this incident happened. Now, Professor Banerjee, your organization says that it is bad luck. Very convenient. Is it very convenient, Bejan Mishra? That 20 people die.
Absolutely.
20 people die.
Ridiculous.
And the
ridiculous.
Hospital says bad
ridiculous.
Luck. Bad luck. Right?
How can it be bad luck?
Bad luck.
I mean, it is their bad luck. It is their bad luck that they've come in the news today. It is their really bad luck. Yeah. I must say that, you know, I congratulate you all to expose this. No, it is their bad luck. I'll
open up the lines right now, and I think people can tell this gentleman what he thinks of bad luck. But Shailesh Gandhi, how does a
no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. He says
if loss of human lives does not move you, what kind of doctor and what kind of hospital are you running?
They're only into making money. The maximum.
It's ridiculous. The first thing you should say is, we are very sorry something went wrong.
No.
Don't just say it's an accident.
Yeah. No, he says, you know what he says? He doesn't care. You don't care.
I can see.
You don't care. You don't care up to the point, R.K. Mishra, that they say that we would like to believe this is an accident. 20 people have died, R.K. Mishra, and this hospital says bad luck. Bad luck that 20 people died. Their bad luck, perhaps. So, right? And he also says we would like to believe that it was an accident. So, I just want to ask you, Professor Banerjee, I have not even started with you, Professor Banerjee. I want to ask you, was it a case of bad luck and just an accident that the fire station diary that was attached to the police complaint that has been filed against the incident says that the terrace tank of 25,000 litres capacity for firefighting purpose has not been constructed so far as advised? Is this true or bad luck?
Professor Arnab Goswami, I'm not a professor.
No, I'm not a professor at all. You may be one.
I have always treated you like a professor. I have always found you to be a professor in your profession, sir.
I don't need any.
And it's a free country. You cannot object to my calling you a professor.
No, I do object, because I object to low-level sarcasm coming from a person who has disdain for the lives of people. And my question to you, sir.
It is not sarcasm.
My question to you, Professor Amit Banerjee,
but let me answer your question.
Please answer my question.
Answer your question.
Is it true that the
let me first express condolences.
I don't need your condolences.
For all those people who have lost their lives.
I'm not going to give you a chance to make
these lives should not have been lost.
I don't want hollow statements from you. I want to know whether the terrace tank of 25,000 litres capacity for firefighting purposes was constructed or not. Simple. Answer my question.
Yes. Now let me tell you that in 2013, we received an audit report from the Fire Department of Odisha, in which they had given us a no objection certificate subject to the fulfillment of certain conditions. And
how did you manage to get one second. I don't understand this. 1 second. Let us expose all these people. Sujya Narayan Patro.
Yes.
You know, this is the system, the politician businessman nexus which comes across. Mr. Patro, 20 people have died. I hold you responsible as well. I'll tell you why. Because you are giving a no objection certificate saying that I hope that the conditions are fulfilled. In other words, there is no fire safety done for this hospital. There is no fire sprinkler. There is no detection system. There is no external fire escape. There is no existing fire protection system. There is no fire hydrant system. There is no terrace tank. In other words, at any point of time, a fire can break out and a lot of people can die. How did you give a no objection certificate? This is it nepotism or negligence or corruption? Corruption. It's corruption. It's nothing else but the worst kind. Mr. Patra, how did you give the no objection certificate? You are responsible for the lives killed. How did you give the no objection certificate?
Well, Mr. Mukherjee.
My name is Arnab Goswami.
Well, Mr. Arnab.
Yeah.
You put responsibility on the state government.
Both of you.
Goswami, sorry, I'm sorry, Mr. Goswami. How do you say that we have given no objection certificate? The state government has never given any no objection certificate
Okay.
to run that institution. So far my information is concerned, recently the state government has closed down 2 such hospitals.
No.
Well,
One
do
second.
you hear me?
One second. Surya
Goswami,
Narayan
do you hear
Patro.
me?
Mr. Patro, I can hear you, but let me tell you this. Let me tell you this because it will take me a little
Yeah.
while. This is a Mr. Patro, 1 minute. You have wrong information. You don't even know what you're talking about. The Director General of Fire Services Orissa in 2014 recommended that all private hospitals must have valid licenses to provide for adequate safety measures within 2 or 3 months, failing of which licenses shall be revoked. Why did you not follow up? Given it has been 2 years now and 20 people have died in a private hospital last night owing to your negligence, why was no license revoked? Period. They did not impose, they did not do anything for fire safety. You should have taken away their license. Why did you not take away their license? Why didn't you?
Yeah.
Why didn't you? No. Why didn't you take away their license?
This hospital, no, you please hear me. You please hear me, Mr. Goswami. You please hear me. Mr. Goswami, please hear me. Mr. Goswami, please hear me. Mr. Goswami, please hear me.
Hearing you, why don't you
I hear you. Mr. Goswami, please hear me. Mr. Goswami, please hear me first. Let me answer your question. Mr. Goswami, let me answer your question. Mr. Goswami, let me answer your question, then you can put me questions. I say that Odisha government, all the private clinics and hospitals runs under the Clinical Establishment Act.
Oh God, you'll teach me the
And I know this act was not that powerful in the past.
No, you know.
I tell you. But recently in Vidhan Sabha, we have amended that act. Why did you amend that act? Because
I don't want to know your legislative rubbish. 1 minute. No, I don't want to know. There was, answer my question, Mr. Patro. There was a fire safety audit conducted in 2013 which found lapses. Am I right or wrong? Professor Amit Banerjee, am I right or wrong? Did the safety audit done in 2013 find lapses or not? Please tell me right or wrong. One of you respond, Professor Banerjee.
I do acknowledge.
Yeah, what's it?
I tell you, Mr. Goswami.
1 second,
Mr. Goswami, please hear me. You are not hearing me.
Mr. Patra, I am hearing you. I am telling you, this is about human lives, not petty change. About human lives. How is issuing a couple of pieces of paper tantamount to being caretakers of the public you vote in?
Mr. Goswami,
what exactly did you do beyond issuing clerical letters and documents to ensure that patients don't die in a fire like this? And by the way, I now want to expose what this hospital has been up to.
You have no patience of hearing. Mr. Goswami, you have no patience of hearing.
And you have no responsibility.
Mr. Goswami, you have no patience of hearing.
Your entire government should resign today. Your state government should quit. Your state government should quit.
No.
Your
Mr.
chief
Goswami,
minister should quit.
You first hear me.
No,
then you can comment.
Sir, let me tell you. Sir, let me tell you. As per my
information. You first hear me, then you comment. You first hear me, then you comment, Mr. Goswami.
You have not
Without
answered
hearing me, you can't comment.
You
must hear
my
me.
questions.
Mr.
You
Goswami,
answer my question.
I tell you, these all hospitals run under the Clinical Establishment Act.
Stop your Clinical Establishment Act. You have done nothing to implement that act or anything else. Now listen to me. Listen to me quietly. Because you're a politician, don't continue non-stop. Because you are a politician does not give you the right to continue. You may be a former revenue minister. On my program, you are another person who is responsible to the people of this country. And it is because of you that 20 people have died. Now let me tell you this. Now let me question this hospital gentleman. Professor Banerjee, don't complain. Don't keep complaining. Don't keep complaining. I'll tell you, as per my information,
Mr. Goswami, you must hear me without hearing me.
Will you stop, Mr. Patra?
Mr.
Thank
Goswami,
you.
without
Mr. Patra,
me,
please wait. I lose my temper at politicians who keep speaking like this. I am telling you, I am not used to politicians talking to me like this. Please listen to me.
That may be you must hear me. When you ask me to come here to speak, you must hear me. Without hearing, you're telling.
Today you should come
Mr. Goswami, please hear me.
Today, people like you,
Recently,
Mr.
government has closed
Patra.
down many hospitals in this state.
Oh, this is so
and we
irritating.
amended the act.
Mr. Patro,
File
Mr.
against
Patro,
hospital.
now I am telling you to stop.
Yes.
And listen to me. There was a fire safety audit conducted in 2013 which found lapses. Am I right, Professor Banerjee? This is something that both the DG Fire Department has confirmed today as well as the FIR.
Which they wanted us to take care of.
Okay, very good. Now listen to me. With what face and on what premise was this hospital being allowed to be open to patients? How was this hospital open to patients? That means both sides are complicit to the crime. You have not brought in fire safety standards. What does that mean? Which means that every single day, all the thousands of people coming to a hospital can die. It can turn into a killer furnace, you know it. But you're making money. Why would you stop the hospital? You're making money, so you don't feel answerable. Aryaman Sundaram, the logic is pretty simple as far as I'm concerned. What do you think? I mean, the rules are broken. Fire safety is not institutionalized. And there is no answerability. The government says, don't ask us. Aryaman Sundaram, core issues. What is the core issue emerging here?
Arnab, the core issue in this is that this tragedy really points out the culpability of too many people. Accidents always happen. The culpability is allowing that accident to culminate in a tragedy. And that happens because of failures both of the hospital and the government. The fact is that an accident of a fire being caused is a possibility. But not being able to deal with it because of your own negligence in not taking care of having at your command everything required for that is culpability. Now let me point out one thing. If you know that an accident could occur, and if you know that certain things, if not done, could result in the death of people, you are culpable, you're criminally culpable with the knowledge that your omissions, your negligence can cause the death of people. If you still continue doing so and do not take the necessary steps, I am sorry, but this is clear case of criminal culpability. On two sides. One is, I was shocked to hear that no objection is given, subject to fire safety equipment being given later.
Ridiculous.
I cannot begin to understand this. What does that mean? That means you start without all this, and one day you must get all this done. It is the most absurd thing I've heard. And especially in a hospital, which is an enclosed space, and the people there are already sick. They are not even people who are able-bodied who are going to be able to run for safety or jump out of windows or something. You have to be even more careful. And the absurd statement being made is that a no objection was given subject to conditions as to fire safety to be fulfilled in the future. How was such an objection ever given?
And worse than that. And
then was it ever verified whether it was carried out?
Worse than that. Let me tell you, Aryaman Sundaram, for these hospitals, making money is the starting point and the end point. They don't care at all. The most shocking thing is that today the pediatric ward of that hospital is still functioning. Today, yes. What does that mean? Which means today, and viewers, I'm telling you what is happening today. Small children, Bajan Mishra, are being brought into that hospital by desperate people who want their children to recover. And this gentleman out here, Professor Amit Banerjee, who is the Vice Chancellor of the SUM hospital, knows today that in his extremely unsafe hospital, children are coming to the pediatric ward. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong? Is your pediatric ward functioning as usual or not?
The pediatric ward is functioning as usual and is functioning with all the safety measures.
Really? Oh, what safety measures? You don't have safety measures in your hospital.
Who is giving that
what safety measures? Who gives that certificate? Yesterday, 20 people die, and the shamelessness of all of this, they want to make money. That's what it is, Bajan Mishra. They don't care today. The small children are coming into the hospital, and yesterday there were people in the dialysis unit and the ICU of the hospital. Don't let lecture me.
this is a
Yesterday
teaching
there were
hospital
people
of
from the
Indian
ICU.
University.
When there were
They
people,
should
do you
seal
have a
that
heart?
hospital.
Do you have a heart? Yesterday,
Arnab sir, you
yesterday,
cannot equate this with a
Professor,
private
I'm
hospital.
sorry, Amit
It is
Banerjee.
not a private
Amit Banerjee,
hospital.
I don't know
It
if
is
you
a
say you are a doctor, but
teaching
I don't
hospital of a
understand
Deemed
for the life of me.
University.
I don't understand for the life of me. How can you do this? How can you do this? How can you let
Don't
small...
have the infrastructure.
Yes, no, you...
Arnab, they don't have the infrastructure. How are they continuing?
It is incorrect to treat this
They
as
don't have
another
the
private
infrastructure.
hospital.
Okay, can I tell you, read from the FIR here? R.K. Mishra, let me read from the FIR. According to the FIR, during this fire, and I quote, the whole area was engulfed with dense smoke fire. I hope you can hear me, R.K. Mishra. Preventing personnel employed for rescue operations who had to use breathing apparatus set for evacuating patients. Professor Banerjee tells me that today children are being brought in and the pediatric ward, OPD ward is functioning as usual. I don't know how they do it. I mean, how do you do it? Your politicians like you out there? You have a lot of influence. I am told, I am informed, by the way, I am informed that this same group, this same group that runs the hospital also runs a TV channel. So obviously you are influential.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So maybe politicians are scared of you, maybe you are connected. I'm not saying you are corrupt, but
It's most
I don't.
appalling, Arnab, because
But today,
obviously the hospital.
Today, R.K. Mishra, this hospital is back to making money. Yesterday, 20 people died, 500 people were trapped in this hospital, and there were sick people, stuck on dialysis machines, not knowing how to leave. And there were old and sick people, they were breaking windows in this hospital yesterday. Breaking windows, RK, saying somehow let us come out, and 20 people just choked and they were asphyxiated to death. And today the same hospital is making money saying bring the children in.
And it's a criminal connivance.
This is just
criminal connivance of the hospital as well as the government.
Incredible.
They allowed them to operate.
Please don't say we are making money.
Continue
we
to
are
operate.
treating patients. We are running a teaching hospital. Medical
You are
graduates
making money.
trained
You are
in
making
it.
money.
Do
What
not
cost?
use the word
You are
we
making money.
Treating patient at what
It's
cost?
not.
Treating patient at what cost?
No, doctor, you are running a hospital without fire safety, which is the most hazardous thing. I don't know how can you justify this, and you are given 2 years. 2 years you could not make a tank, you could not make a fire detection system, you could not put sprinklers. Is this, and your group doesn't seem to be a poor group.
Honestly,
you're not running a charitable hospital.
Honestly,
you are running a TV channel. Let me complete. Let me complete. Let me complete. Let me complete. 20 people have been killed.
That certain points have been listed by the fire department. We have instituted an inquiry. We have to find out what were the lapses.
Okay, tell me.
If you are in any other country, you will be hanged.
I'll tell you. No, one second.
In any other country, you will be hanged.
No, I'll tell you. Let me tell you more.
You'll be hanged. You know what kind of liabilities doctor has for even treating the patient?
R.K. Mishra, I have a question now.
You people kill the patient on the operation table.
I have a question from Surya Narayan Patro. Surya Narayan Patro. Can I ask you a question? Is any relative...
It's absolutely disgusting.
Surya Narayan Patro, let me ask you this. There's a chairman of this hospital, his name is Manoj Nayak, am I correct?
Yeah.
Professor Banerjee, am I correct? Is his name Manoj Nayak? The chairman of this...
Yes, you are right.
No.
Chairman.
Professor
Is he
Manoj
from...
Nayak is the chairman of the trust,
Yes.
but this institution, the university, is run under the administration of a managing body.
Okay, but listen to me, we were not born
And
yesterday.
I happen to be the chairman
I
of
am
the
asking
management.
you one question, sir. Please listen to my question. He's from Kendrapara.
Yes.
That is, Kendrapara is also the health minister Atanu Sabyasachi Nayak's constituency. Am I correct? Surya Narayan Patro, am I correct? Anyway, they may be from the same constituency. I'm not drawing any inference. But my next...
I agree.
No, my next question to you is, Mr. Patro, please understand to me. Understand. The first thing should be that if 20 people have died, if 20 people have died in a hospital run by this trust, and this man Manoj Nayak is the head of that trust, 20 people die, and this man Manoj Nayak's name is not even in the FIR.
Yes.
4 people has been arrested. The man who is on top of everything, running an institution,
Yes.
running an institution. Sorry, sir. Sorry, 1 minute. Let me complete. And I am going to ask you one follow-up question. I'm going to ask you a follow-up question to that.
Hear me?
And my follow-up question,
hear me?
Mr. Patra, is this. No, you hear me. You hear me, Mr. Patra, and I'm now going to come to the core issue. Please tell me, is a relative of the health minister, is a relative of the health minister employed? 1 minute.
Understand your point.
No, Mr. Patra, let me ask the question. Let me ask. Is a relative of the health minister employed in an institution,
Yeah.
an education and institution, owned by the same man Manoj Nayak, who is the chairman of the trust that runs the hospital? So I'm asking you a question. You answer me. I'm only asking a question. I'm repeating the question now, Mr. Patra. Mr. Patra, you hear me. No, you ask. No, Mr. Patra, you answer me. Mr. Patra, is the health minister's relative employed with an institution?
I tell you.
Employed with an institution. Sorry, sir. Is the health minister's relative employed in an institution? Maybe an educational institution which is owned and run by the same person who also owns the hospital.
You hear me first. You are not hearing me.
I am hearing you. 20 people die. You don't want me to ask questions.
I will answer your question. Specifically, I will answer your question. Nothing to bother. You see, I am also feeling very sorry, and the state government is also feeling very much sorry for such a tragic incident happened in Odisha state. There's no doubt
Mishra, are you seeing this? He's not replying.
You may not be like, but I tell you,
replying at all.
Already,
because they know they're wrong. They know they're wrong.
20 lives don't matter for these people.
Whole administration was, you hear me?
They know they're wrong.
Whole administration was busy in engaging, saving the people, the life of other people. See,
we are not talking about today. We are talking about what did you do 1 year back.
The life of the people.
We are not talking about today. What did you do 1 year back?
Why don't you file an FIR?
I tell you,
Mr. Politician,
I tell you,
Mr. Politician,
why are you talking about today?
Mr. Patro, no, I will not let you off the hook, Mr. Patro. Mr. Patro, don't teach me the law, Mr. Patro. As per the Factories Act 1948, building of clinical establishments have to conform to the conditions which makes it mandatory for them to maintain safe means of escape in the event of a fire and have all the necessary equipment for the same. Why did you fail to examine that this institution, this hospital had no facilities despite repeated warnings? And if you did examine, then tell me most crucially, how did you act against them before they became a killer for 20 lives? And you tell me tonight, now that these 20 lives have lost because of a collusion between you and the hospital, what action should be taken against you, sir? What action should be taken against the state government now and the owners of this hospital?
You must hear me.
No, what action should be taken against the owners of the hospital?
You see, under the clinical establishment.
Don't lecture me, sir.
Under the clinical establishment.
I am opening lines now.
Under the clinical establishment act, all your hospitals should be locked.
Already government has.
All your hospital needs to be locked.
And police
under the clinical.
Shailesh Gandhi, come on.
All your hospital needs to be locked.
Mr. Patro,
No.
Has the hospital been closed down even now?
No.
Yes.
Simple question, Mr. Patro. Instead of saying I'm replying, please tell me. Has the hospital been closed down after this ghastly accident? Yes or no?
No, children, I'll tell you the answer. They've opened the pediatric ward. They are making money. They are making money out there by letting small children come into that hospital.
Have you any sense of shame, Mr. Patro?
No shame.
3 of the departments.
No shame.
Has the hospital been closed down, Mr. Patro? Answer yes or no.
Under the RDC.
Sanjeev Bagai. Sanjeev Bagai. Sanjeev Bagai. Yeah, Mr. Bagai.
Absolute
There must be an investigation. No government can do anything.
Mr. Bagai. Where is Mr. Bagai?
See, hear me, Mr. Goswami.
Mr. Bagai, why should
no government can do anything.
Why should we hear
him?
We need not hear
Under the RDC.
Sanjeev Bagai.
We don't need to hear you.
So lines are open, viewers. I'm going to start taking calls in 2 minutes. Yes, Mr. Bagai. Mr. Patro, 1 second. Mr. Patro, I have one thing to tell you. You can say what you want. No, Sanjeev, 1 minute. Sanjeev, 1 minute. You can say what you want. It is my view that in any other country, the health minister would have a case against him for negligence. The health secretary would have a case against him. The owners of the hospital would have FIRs and probably be in jail. In India,
DG Fire Services.
in India, nothing
DG
happens
Fire Services.
because 20 lives don't matter. Who told them to come to the hospital? It's their fault. Viewers, please notice this today. Viewers, notice this. I want to share some facts with you. Maybe Bhubaneswar is an extreme example. I hope so, because only 3 out of 568.
You are asking me a question. You are not hearing me. See,
Mr. Patra, be quiet.
Hear me. You are questioning and you are not hearing my
Be quiet.
answer.
Mr. Patra, you are testing my patience. I am not liking this.
Sir, you hear me.
I'm not obliged to hear you.
Then why to take part in the discussion? You hear me.
Wipe the smile off your face. Feel sorry.
Already prosecution has been started against the.
What prosecution has started? Have you taken any action against the owners of the hospital? You haven't. Bijan Mishra?
See,
What prosecution
yes,
has
Please
started?
stop.
I'm answering.
Please stop.
What prosecution?
Sanjeev Bagai is on.
Innocent
Hospital has been
employees.
left by the police.
You arrested innocent employees.
Yeah, no. For
You know,
Sanjeev
that
Bagai.
is not your action.
Sanjeev Bagai, just because you are the
How many heads have rolled?
Sanjeev
How
Bagai,
many
just
heads
because
have rolled?
Sanjeev Bagai, just because you are the vice chairman of a hospital and the director of a hospital, don't defend the hospital necessarily. This hospital is capable of, has carried out criminal negligence. I hold the
that was
hospital
not my,
responsible for the death of 20 people. Don't you?
Yeah. Arnav, that was not my stand. My stand has been very clear. This is an unpardonable offence. My statement is as follows. How was the fire certification given without these criteria being met in the first place? Point number 2, if a particular NOC has been given subject to certain conditions, which has been given a time period of 2 months, was it reviewed after 2 months? And whoever is responsible for the loss of these 20 lives have to be held accountable. I'm extremely clear on that.
In the same channel with you an hour back, and you are telling everyone that private hospitals have perfect certification methods. I almost got to feel that this is not a private hospital. Now it turns out that you are changing your stand within an hour, Dr. Bagai. An hour back, you and I were on the same channel, and you were saying
There is no change of
hospitals,
stand. What I have said.
holy.
I'm sorry, Doc. What I have said is that accreditation maintains patient safety standards.
Yes, that is what you said. And perfect safety standards are maintained by all private hospitals. This was your statement, Dr. Bagai. It's on record.
Bijan Mishra.
But then why the NOC is there with subject to conditions?
Dr. Bagai, you know very well, after the accreditation has been received by the hospitals, they don't follow them. They don't comply with them. Do you agree with me or not? They just take the certification by hook or crook, by influencing the investigating team or whichever is the accreditation team. They get it somehow. And you heard the DG of the fire brigade, the fire services.
I want to go back to the case in point. I want to go to Amit Banerjee, please, if I may. Let's go back. I want to go to Amit Banerjee.
Yes.
Adiman Sundaram, coming to you, sir. 1 minute. I have a handwritten note. Okay. Now, Amit Banerjee, I hold the view that your entire trust, your chairman of your trust, and in fact, if you are in any administrative capacity, then I truly believe. If you are in an administrative capacity, which you are, then all of you should have FIRs against you and all of you should be arrested, including you. You shouldn't be on Newshour. No, 1 second. No, one minute. But unfortunately, there is no FIR against you or your shareholders, all off the hook. They all have political connections. Let me not reveal today the kind of political connections that you have. You misuse the political connections. You misuse the political connections after 20 people die. Go tell your chairman of your trust not to feel so confident that he will get away. He should have a sleepless night. He should feel responsible. He should count all the money he made and then burn all that money, because all that money is not worth the lives of the people who have lost. But today you're still allowing small children where you are allowing small children to come to your hospital, you opened your pediatric wing, you have no conscience, sir. You have no conscience.
Arnab, they are sick children and we give them free treatment.
You don't. They were sick. Compare that to their lives being in danger. You put their lives in danger. Don't you put their lives in danger? Don't tell me that you're doing social service. You're not. You're not. And let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. You have said about bad luck. Now my point is about bad luck. Just calm down. I want to know this concept of bad luck.
Arnab, this is why we have instituted inquiries, so that there is a fact-finding situation. We can find out what went wrong. And
okay, how many of those people?
We have to take responsibilities.
How many of those people will come back to life because of your ridiculous and foolish inquiry?
None.
Yeah, then don't tell me about your inquiry.
None of them will come back.
You know what? I'll tell you. I'll tell you one thing. You know why you can do this? Because no politician died. One politician would have died, or one of these big shots like the people who are running your trust would have died in that fire. You would have turned the world upside down. That is what the system is. I'm sorry too. Now answer my questions. I don't want your drama. Now answer my questions. According to the FIR, the private hospital, ladies and gentlemen, whose possible negligence could have taken away 20 lives, did not have any valid fire safety certificate. Did you have a valid fire safety certificate?
Well,
did you have a valid fire safety certificate? Answer my question, yes or no.
We had it.
Did you
conditional no objection
what
certificate?
What conditional NOC? Rubbish. Did you have a valid fire safety certificate?
As I said, this fire safety certificate given to us by the fire department.
Did you have a valid fire safety certificate?
And it does not have a time-bound thing, so we are looking into that.
Oh my God!
So you did not have any time bound. So you were not safe from the fire safety. You knew that you were not safe from the fire safety perspective. You knew it. Mr. Banerjee, according to the FIR, Mr. Banerjee, according to the FIR, and you know why I'm asking you this? Because people like you say bad luck. According to the FIR, and I quote, it is pertinent to mention here that a fire audit of the hospital was conducted in 2013 and several shortcomings were noticed and intimated to the hospital authority for necessary compliance for safety of life and property before the issue of a fire certificate. As established, therefore, Aryavan Sundaram in the previous point, they did not have a valid fire safety certificate. So is it by accident or negligence that your hospital fell short of fire safety in 2013 and 3 years later 20 people die because of that? Was it by accident or negligence that your hospital, despite being warned in 2013 through an audit, refused to have and did not have valid fire safety measures in place in 2016 for your patients? You were not short of money, you had enough money, but you did not invest that money and your time to establishing a fire safety system. In other words, you didn't stop your accounting, you didn't stop your profits, you didn't stop your top line and your bottom line. You continued to rake money. Did you score a profit? Are you a break-even institution? Does your institution make a profit or a loss? My information is that your hospital makes a sizable profit. Allow me to complete. Allow me, one second.
Okay.
You were issued notices and intimated for necessary compliances that would keep your patients safe back in 2013. You did not do anything 3 years later. According to the FIR, the fire spread in a way that it did because of the AC duct over the storeroom. The duct is highly inflammable. Mr. Banerjee, will you concede on the Newshour tonight that these patients died in the most torturous way possible? Torturous way possible.
Arnab,
I know my name. A torturous way possible because of the burning of the synthetic foam material. You knew.
Well, that is something that I am not aware of.
You are not aware of. It's your hospital. You are not aware of. You are not aware of.
The technical part I am not aware of.
Technical part you are not aware of. So whatever.
Lives should not have been lost.
You can't keep repeating that 20 lives could not be lost. Your chairman should be in jail. Where is your chairman? Where is your chairman now? Where is this fellow? What's his name? Manoj something, right? What's his name? What's his name?
Whose name?
Manoj Nayak, right? The owner of the head of the trust, Manoj Nayak, right? Where is he?
Arnab,
Where is
this
he?
a teaching hospital.
Where
attached to
is he?
university. Why are you asking me? I am on your program at this point of
Where
time
is
to
he?
answer your question.
Where is he?
I do not,
Where is he? Where is he? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know why I'm asking you? Because 20 people have died and the owner of that hospital does not have the courage to even come out. I will ask you, and I will ask the police. I will ask the police, Surya Narayan Patro, that what kind of a police force do you have that the owner of the hospital has not been caught or asked a single question till now? Have you questioned the owner of the hospital?
See,
Have you questioned the owner of the hospital? Have you questioned the owner of the hospital?
already the police has started arresting the people.
Arresting. Have you filed an FIR against the owner of the hospital?
The investigation
Have you
is going
filed an FIR against the owner of the hospital? You have not even named him in the FIR. Why?
See, the police.
Why have you not named him in the FIR? Why? Because is it true that the health minister's family member is employed in an institution that is also run by the owner of this hospital? Answer me. Answer me. Why have you not filed an FIR against the owner of the hospital?
It's true. Already police started investigation.
Where is the owner of the hospital? According to a letter in our possession dated November 2015, it was only three out of 568 private hospitals in Puri, Bhubaneswar and Cuttack who got a fire safety certificate, despite the DG Fire Services noting this last year, which explains the fact that the FIR explicitly exposes that 1 year later this private hospital has not got a valid certificate. This man is politically connected. He runs a news channel. He employs a relative of the health minister. He knows that people will die in his hospital if they come in. The fire happens, people die. The guy has not even been named in the FIR. Shame on you, Surya Narayan Patro, and shame on the BJD government in Odisha that today you don't have the guts to even file an FIR against the owner of the hospital. You people should resign from public life and quit politics.
Without hearing me, you are going.
You should resign. Where is your chief minister? Where is the chief minister tonight? Where is the chief minister? Where is the chief minister?
Yes,
I am talking about human lives, not petty change. Rubbish.
Police has starting action. 4 people has been arrested already.
Have you?
4 people has been arrested already, and the investigation going on. We can't say who else will be arrested. You wait and watch.
I have no.
Why do you say from beforehand that so and so has not been arrested? You wait. After waiting, you can know it.
No, I'm sorry. This country has changed, Mr. Politician. People don't wait and watch anymore. We don't wait and watch. We put pressure on you. We make you feel accountable. We will make you feel uncomfortable because you know
we have already given FIR. The police has registered the case.
Have you filed an FIR against the owner of the hospital? Have you filed an FIR against the owner of the hospital?
See,
don't say see. Have you filed an FIR against the owner of the hospital?
FIR has been filed with the police.
It's not see. It's either yes or no. It's not see. The answer is yes or no. Have you filed an FIR against the owner of the hospital? You haven't, because you don't have the guts. Because you don't have the guts. Has he been named?
You wait.
I'm not going to wait.
It's going on.
I'm not going to wait.
It's going on. You can hear.
You think the people in Bhubaneswar will wait? Why should the management not take responsibility for the incident? Why are you suspending mid-level employees when on the principle of command responsibility it is the top management? On the principle of command responsibility it is the top management that should take responsibility for an incident of this magnitude. In the aftermath, Aryaman Sundaram, please come in on this. In the aftermath of the AMRI tragedy in Kolkata, in 2011, those arrested, including the directors and the senior officials of the hospital, 94 people were killed. So if 94 people are killed, then directors will be held responsible. If 20 people are killed, it is middle-level managers.
In fact, Arnab, I think these gentlemen are missing the basic point.
Mr. Go.
You see, what we are really dealing with is not just a situation of having an investigation. I heard Mr. Banerjee saying we'll have an investigation as to how that happened. I'm sorry, that's not the issue. The fact is this hospital has been functioning without necessary fire safety equipment, without certificates, no objection given on condition that certain things are done. Without doing those things,
calls are live.
The investigation will show how the fire started, but that's not the question. Why was not all this done? And when it was admittedly not done, It's the legal doctrine of what's called res ipsa loquitur. The fact speaks for itself. There is no investigation needed to say that these people are culpable, because admittedly the hospital has no fire safety equipment as required. Admittedly they don't have fire safety certificate. Admittedly no objection conditions have not even been satisfied. Now in the light of all that, this investigation might show why the fire started, but it is not an answer as to how they have culpably, criminally failed to carry out all these functions.
Now, 1 second. First caller, Govind Prasad from Chennai. Govind Prasad, good evening.
And for that only the top
Prasad, are you there, please?
is to blame.
Let's take a few callers, and I have so many callers on the Newshour tonight.
Is to blame.
I have so many callers on the Newshour tonight. I'm going to have to accommodate as many as possible, and across the country people are asking these questions. Govind Prasad,
Arnab.
good evening, Govind.
Yeah, Arnab, how are you? Thanks for that.
I'm very well, Govind. Go ahead, ask your question.
Yeah, thanks for again. You brought another serious. Arnab, are you hearing me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Govind. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Arnab, hats off to you, because again the action starts from here. You have brought another wonderful thing. Thanks to you. Number one. Number two is concerned. I am in this pharma industry for more than 26 years.
Okay.
Day and night I am watching the doctors' negligence. Hats off I am not blaming all the doctors, but few doctors. The most culprit is concerned, most of the corporate hospitals are being run by the politicians. Because of the political pressures as well as the political influence, they are making the Aam Aadmi people life that anything. Yesterday my blood was boiling, Arnab Goswami, because one of your commentator was told that they are doing charitable to the business. But very sorry to say that one children, age of 11, his name is Chandrasekharan. He was wrongly diagnosed because he has given for the X-ray report and everything. They called that and told that, madam, this is your report. My mother was crying. She was an illiterate. And the same name he has given to 41-year-old people.
You know, Govind, the problem in all of this is that the worrying part is this can happen to any of us. This can just happen to anyone, right? That's any hospital. I don't know if this is what's happening in Odisha. It's not the responsibility of the patients to go and find out is the fire safety system working in this hospital, because a person goes to hospital, Bijan Mishra, when they are most vulnerable. I mean, when you're in an ICU, you can't just jump out of that place. You're taking
There has to be extra care taken.
No,
there has to be extra care taken. They have to be more sensitive.
No, in this case,
see, we find that all these people are only chasing money.
In this case, even the fire escape staircase was not provided. Am I right, Professor Banerjee? The external fire escape staircase.
No, sir, you are not right, because actually, let me tell you, our people had evacuated the patients.
I am asking you one question. I am asking you one question, and I am quoting from the handwritten note by the fire department after its visit to the hospital following the killing of 20 people, and your hospital are responsible for the murder of 20 people. They have said the external fire escape staircase has not been provided. Is this true or false? Simply answer that question.
External fire escape?
You don't even know. External fire escape staircase
can you repeat that?
The external fire escape staircase was not there. The existing fire protection system, like the fire hydrant system, did not function. There was no water available for them. The detection system was non-existent. The sprinkler system was not provided. There was supposed to be terrace tank of water that was not there. The point which emerges from this report is that your hospital had no fire safety. Simple thing. So you cannot even say for a moment, it's a case of bad luck. The fact is that you were continuing to make a lot of money. My information is that your hospital makes a lot of money. It's a very profitable hospital. You make tons of money and you absolutely take a chance with the lives of people. I mean, I don't know why you run a hospital. You're not even fit to run a zoo. Josie Peter from Bengaluru is calling right now. Josie, please. Josie.
Arnab, good evening.
Yeah.
Arnab, at first I thought I'll ask a question to these people, but the way they're responding, I don't want to. But then I'm a tax-paying citizen down here in the south.
Yeah.
All I want to, ask them is, do they have the courage and guts to, explain on national television, the vice chancellor and the so-called politician, that they will close down the hospital until it is, fire compliant? And will they, shift all these people who are coming to the pediatric ward to a safer hospital? First one. Second one, will these people retire from their public life and their professional life until, justice is restored to those 20 families?
Yeah. Surya Narayan Patro, if you could hear him, first, why don't you close down the hospital temporarily? Problem kya hai? What's your problem?
Yeah. Problem kuch nahi hai. Abhi 3 departments has been already closed. Prosecution just now filed against the
What do you mean 3 departments have been closed? You are under pressure from the hospital. What do you mean 3 departments closed?
The hospital should be closed.
What do you mean 3 departments closed?
And he should announce just now.
You've had the whole hospital has been on fire. 20 people have died. 20 people have died. 500 people have been stuck. You are allowing this hospital to get away because the owners of the hospital have political connections. The owners of the hospital have political connections, sir. Because they have political connections, you are allowing this hospital to continue. We will put pressure on you. We want to expose you.
No.
Mr.
It is a bogus.
Absolutely.
The hospital has no fire safety.
You hear me?
And yet you are saying it will continue.
I tell you.
No, please, don't tell us, give us a speech. Tell us why you are allowing the hospital to continue without fire safety regulation being met. Please tell us yes or no. Why are you allowing the hospital to continue though it is not fire safety compliant?
When will you close it?
No, please tell us why you are allowing it just now.
There is an inquiry there. Let the
What damn inquiry?
You're telling to give a report.
What inquiry?
R.K. Mishra, they come in shameless. You know what inquiry? I'll tell you an inquiry. What inquiry? You know, I'll tell you the way you are responding out there. I think this is a deeper conspiracy, viewers, and I think there should be an independent investigation. I do not trust.
Hospital is not ready to be operational.
No, RK, I don't trust these politicians at all. The health minister's relative is employed by the same group that runs the hospital. They cannot have an independent investigation.
Correct.
First of all, you're not answering my question. Surya Narayan Patro, is the health minister's direct relative employed by the same group that runs the hospital?
He won't say.
See, as it is a very big corporate hospital and it is a deemed university, naturally anybody, any relative can work
what
there.
Was my question? Oh, admission. So you are admitting. So tell me today, excellent. So you are admitting that the health minister's relative is employed by the same group that runs the hospital. That's conflict of interest.
Maybe, I don't know. Of course,
Maybe.
I have no information as I hear from you.
No. And so let me ask you.
I tell you,
let me ask you.
If somebody is qualified, he is obviously working in public institution.
So tell me today.
Yeah.
So tell me today, why should I not think that the health minister knew that this hospital has violated fire safety standards, did not have fire safety in place? The health minister knew this but did not act because his own relative is employed by the group that runs the hospital. And as a result of this collusion, this nepotism, the 20 people have died.
See, you hear me. Yeah, I will answer categorically your question. I will tell you. Shortly, sometime back, this settlement minister closed down 2-3 hospitals in
Why didn't he close down this one?
They went to the Honorable High Court.
Why didn't he close down this one?
High Court commented and
why didn't he close down this one?
I tell you.
Why didn't he? Because his relative is employed by the same group that runs the hospital.
See, No.
No, what do you mean no? How should I believe what you're saying?
Nobody can do like that.
Nobody can, but they might be doing like that. No, I mean this is ridiculous. S.C. Parida is calling in from Karnal. Mr. Parida, good evening. Mr. Parida, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Parida. Yeah, go ahead. Mr. Parida, you have a question. What's your question too, please? Yeah.
Yes, my question is on 25th of July, my father died there. I had gone over there. These people, they behave as if like mafias. They openly say that we are relative of the health minister and we don't care about others. They were not even allowing my family member to see my father in ICU. After my intervention only, they allowed. That is how they behave. The hospital is in a very, very bad condition. Absolutely bad.
Mr. Parida.
And these people are absolutely behave like gundas and mafias.
Mr. Parida,
This coming out
Mr.
from the
Mr.
horse's
Parida,
mouth.
I want. No.
This is
Let's get the Vice Chancellor of the hospital on to respond to you, Mr.
He
Parida.
should be arrested. He should be arrested because these people, the administration behave
have him on it?
absolutely as if they are gundas.
Mr. Parida, respond.
Mr. Parida,
Yeah,
I am not aware of your complaint, but I will definitely look into that.
My complaint is my father died on 25th of July there.
Yes.
The treatment was absolutely pathetic, and whenever he was in the ICU, and these people, they never even allow, they will not even
him on
tell
air,
you
please.
what is the condition of the patient, and they
Put Dr.
take
Professor
all
Banerjee.
night
Parida,
minimum.
can I make a request to you?
Yeah.
Can you please come to my office tomorrow or day after tomorrow, or give me a phone call so that I can look into the whole thing?
But his
Because
father
I am
died.
not aware of it.
All right, so what will I do?
Because
With the
you
same
know,
number
I
I'll call
have
you?
to look after all the institutions of the university. But I will definitely like to know from you exactly what happened, and I would definitely like to talk to you and console you about this.
Console.
May I know to whom I am speaking?
He's the Vice Chancellor of the
Yes,
hospital.
yes. My name is
All right,
Amit Banerjee. I am the Vice Chancellor of the
I'll speak to
university.
you. All right, I'll speak to you, Mr.
And
Amit Banerjee.
One sec, Professor Banerjee,
very
one sec.
grateful if you could
Professor
kindly meet me
Banerjee.
and
Professor
talk to me.
Banerjee, I had gone over there. I'll tell you, those people, they behave absolutely as if they are gundas. Even your junior doctors, they don't give a simple message
But
to the
a
ICU
hospital,
attendants that
people
what is
should not
happening to the
behave
patient.
like that in a hospital, Mr. Parida.
Professor Banerjee,
People
tell me
like
one
that
thing.
should not behave in a
Professor
hospital.
Banerjee,
I must need to have a first-hand report on that.
Mr. Parida, 1 minute. Mr. Parida, 1 minute. Professor Banerjee, you're saying all this.
Yes, sir.
Will it bring his father back to life?
No, it will not. It will not. But maybe it will help us improve
which is
for
why
the future.
holding an inquiry now will not help.
It will not. But definitely it
No,
will help us improve in the
I
future,
think
Arnab.
there is
That you cannot deny.
political. No, this is a clear case of collusion as far as I'm concerned.
Arnab, I will
No,
not comment on that aspect.
one second.
But
Let
if
me
we
go back
can
to the
find
politician.
out where we went wrong.
Oh,
if we can
please
find
don't
out
tell me where you went
who
wrong.
did something wrong, we
You
can
went
rectify
wrong.
it.
You went wrong because you are a typical
Even now they're
hospital.
wrong.
Typical hospital.
now they're wrong.
Where for you money
Yes,
matters.
that is-
You do not have basic.
that is
you do not have
your
basic
point of
practices.
view, and I respect
You
your
people
point
think.
of view.
You people think it's not my point
that
of
does
view.
not make me
It's
change
not
my
my point of view,
that I
Professor
have a
Banerjee.
scope for improvement
Professor
for the
Banerjee.
future.
Professor Banerjee, it's not my point of view.
Yes, sir.
Should I tell you one thing? It's not my point of view.
Yes, sir.
This is the reality because you people think that your owners, your proprietors are close to politicians. So rules don't matter.
Arnab, what I am
Mr.
telling you
Banerjee,
as a
let me
doctor is
complete.
also reality,
Mr. Banerjee,
Arnab.
I heard you now. I heard you. Hear me. You people think that you know the politicians. Simple. This is the way if things run in this country. I run an establishment. I endanger the lives of people. People can die because of my negligence. But I feel I can get away with anything because I can make one phone call, right? Ariman Sundaram, one phone call I can make and I can sort things out, right? And I'll tell you why you want to, if you want me to, I've looked at this para chapter and verse because these politicians can't tell me that they were not aware of the fact that the Director General of Fire Service, Home Guards and Civil Defence of Orissa on April 24, 2014 issued a strict message to the medical education and training establishment of the Orissa government that there is a need to strictly enforce fire safety prevention methods in all hospitals and clinical establishments on a continuing basis. This was there, Ariman Sundaram. They didn't do anything. Then the rules under the Orissa Clinical Establishment Control and Regulation Act 1990 lay out the provision under which the action can be taken if hospitals are not following fire safety norms. Don't tell me Mr. Politician does not know about all this. Mr. Politician knows anything. He thinks he's going to teach me the law. Mr. Politician, you must understand, I will teach you the law. I will teach you the law till you understand it and respect it. Understand, Mr. Patro. And there is an act under Schedule A of the Orissa Clinical Establishment Rules 1994 which refers to the Factories Act of 1948 which mandates that all factory establishments will ensure safe means of escape if there is a fire. These rules were also not adhered to. So Ariman Sundaram, they are breaking the rules consistently. Please tell me, Mr. Sundaram, more as a citizen than as a lawyer.
In fact, that is...
How can anyone continue to break the rules like this?
In fact, that is the whole point, Arnab. The whole point is, I've been hearing the statement that we are going to conduct an investigation into what happened, etc. The investigation is going to tell you how the fire actually broke out, but that is not the question. the fire can be an accident, to allow the fire to result in so many deaths is a tragedy, not just a tragedy, it is culpable when, in point of fact, the laws have been flouted, fire safety equipment has not been provided, sprinklers are not there, fire escapes are not there.
All right.
How did this hospital ever run? How did it ever run without all this, unless there was collusion with the public service authorities? And secondly, once you show that the hospital has failed in having all this fire safety equipment, the top administration is to blame.
Without a doubt.
I think, Arnab, this is actually the situation in almost most of the hospitals in the country.
Yeah.
Because most of the hospitals have become only the money-making machines, and mostly the smaller towns, because smaller towns people are almost at the mercy of the hospitals, and doctors are my-baps. In bigger cities, at least people have options. In smaller cities, people don't have options, be it Lucknow, be it Bhubaneswar, Patna, Ranchi, or whatever.
Yeah.
And these people are relatives of the politicians. They fund the politicians' elections and they run roughshod. And the gentleman from Karnal, it is so sad, and I think this is a story. I get calls so often that can you please call a doctor because I am not allowed to see my own relative or friend or family in the ICU. Once you enter the hospital, you are the hostage, and then you cannot even escape because there is a fire, there is no fire escape.
And here's two things at the very end. Professor Banerjee, I will follow up this tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I would give you 24 hours to produce your owner on national television and may bring him before Newshour tomorrow. 24 hours. I want and one sec, and secondly, Mr. Patro, I don't know if you have a police still. I don't know if you have any system still. Okay, but Mr. Patro, we give you 24 hours to file an FIR and arrest the owners of this hospital. Because in this case, the top management must be responsible if the rules were knowingly flouted. You can have 2 months, 3 months, 6 months to fix fire safety. If you do your fire safety and a fire happens after that, then it's a different matter. No, but if you are warned and you refuse to do anything, then if a fire happens and people die, then the situation is different. Mr. Patro, Mr. Patro, you either act or quit.
I understand your mind.
You either act or quit.
Yeah, I am Patro speaking. I understand your mind.
I don't need psychoanalysis.
See, I tell you. Already the FIR has been lodged against the institution.
Is Manoj
already
No, I'm aware. Bring Manoj Naik out. That's the point tonight. Let Manoj Naik be arrested tonight. We are following this story. Let Manoj Naik be arrested and let the top management be held responsible in this case. We will follow it up tomorrow. I promise you that. I thank you for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.